Have you noticed your body acting differently lately, Quire? And you can't explain why? The sudden heaviness, or the sudden lightness, the emotions that appear out of nowhere, the chills, the pressure, the restlessness at night. Most people would ignore these signs, but chosen ones? Your body speaks before your mind understands. And right now, it's trying to tell you something urgent. Chosen one, listen closely. Something in you has already awakened, even if your mind hasn't fully caught up yet. Your activation didn't begin with a vision in the sky or a thunderous sign from above. It began quietly, deep inside your body. Your spirit felt the shift first, and now your physical vessel is trying to keep pace with the transformation unfolding within you. This is why nothing feels the same. This is why certain sensations appear without warning. This is why you've been questioning what's happening beneath the surface of your own skin. You are not tired for no reason. You are not overwhelmed. You are not changing randomly. Your body is responding to a new spiritual frequency rising inside you. A higher level of purpose, clarity, intuition, and divine protection. Your cells are listening. Your heartbeat is recalibrating. Your senses are sharpening. And the most powerful part? These changes are not mistakes. They are announcements. Quiet declarations from your inner world that your destiny has already shifted. Today, you'll understand the 7 physical signs that prove your activation has begun, and why your life is preparing to move in a direction you never expected, but were always meant for. Before we continue, if you feel this truth stirring in your spirit, pause for just a second. Hit the like button as a way of saying, I am ready. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because this journey is only beginning for you. And comment 99, the number of spiritual completion, as a declaration that the old cycle has ended and your activation is now unfolding. The first physical sign is the sudden shift in your energy levels. A change so deep and unpredictable that it feels like your entire body is speaking a language you're only now beginning to understand. One moment you feel drained, as if something inside you is being pulled out and rewritten from the inside. And then suddenly, without warning, a wave of strength rises in you like a quiet storm, pushing you forward with clarity you didn't have just minutes before. This is not inconsistency. This is not mood fluctuation. This is not just life. This is your spirit expanding faster than your body can adjust. When a chosen one is being activated, the inner world accelerates. Your intuition speeds up. Your awareness sharpens. Your spiritual receptors open. But the physical body, slower and more fragile, tries to keep pace with the intensity of what your soul is receiving. That's why you feel both emptied and refilled in the same day. That's why your motivation appears like a lightning strike, and then dissolves into silence as your system recalibrates. Your soul is pulling in new frequencies, new instructions, new blueprints for the life you are about to step into, and your physical shell is learning how to carry that magnitude. And here's the part most people overlook. These fluctuations are evidence of spiritual acceleration. Every low-energy moment is a shedding. Every high-energy moment is a confirmation. Every strange oscillation is your body letting go of an old identity and making room for a new assignment. You're not inconsistent, you're upgrading. And just when you think you've understood this shift, something even more mysterious begins to happen. A physical signal that doesn't just touch your energy, but reaches straight into the core of your mind. The second physical sign is the sudden pressure, tingling, or heat in the head. Sensations that arrive without warning, often at the exact moment your thoughts begin to deepen or your intuition sharpens. It feels as if something invisible is touching the surface of your mind, a gentle but undeniable force pressing, vibrating, or warming areas you never paid attention to before. Chosen ones often feel a subtle pressure on the forehead, like a quiet knock from the inside. Some experience tingling across the scalp, as if their thoughts are being rearranged by unseen hands. Others feel warmth moving over the crown, rising and falling like a wave of light. And at times, it's a soft vibration, delicate, but powerful enough to make you pause and breathe differently. This is not illness. This is not stress. This is not just nerves. This is expansion. Your mind is being rewired, recalibrated, reopened to a level of perception it once carried but slowly forgot. When your spiritual activation begins, the mind becomes the first chamber that God upgrades. Old thought patterns are dismantled, outdated beliefs lose their grip, mental fog begins to fade, not because your circumstances changed, but because your internal frequency is climbing higher than the confusion that once surrounded you. This pressure you feel is space being created. Space for revelation, space for discernment, space for clarity that cuts through deception before it even reaches your awareness. Your forehead tingles because your intuition is being sharpened like a blade. Your scalp warms because new spiritual pathways are igniting. Your crown vibrates because your mind is reconnecting to divine instruction, no longer limited by fear or doubt. What once clouded your judgment now becomes transparent. What once controlled your thoughts now loses access. And suddenly, you begin to see through people, situations, and intentions with a precision you never had before. You're not imagining it. Your mind is waking up to its higher function. But here's where the mystery deepens. This transformation doesn't stay in your thoughts. It travels downward into a place far more powerful, far more sensitive, and far more revealing. Because the next phase of your activation doesn't just adjust how you think, it alters how you feel at the core of your being. The third physical sign is when your heartbeat and breathing begin to change rhythm. A shift so unexpected and so intimate that it can stop you in your tracks. Your heart starts racing at moments when nothing is happening around you. Your breathing becomes deeper, slower, almost as if your body is preparing itself for a reality your mind hasn't processed yet. You feel waves of emotion rising from nowhere, a lump in the throat, a sudden warmth in the chest, an unexplained urge to exhale as if releasing something ancient. Many chosen ones mistake this for anxiety, but anxiety tightens, this loosens. Anxiety suffocates, this opens. Anxiety overwhelms, this liberates. What you're experiencing is not fear. It is freedom trying to break through the walls you didn't know were still standing. Your heart is not malfunctioning. It is emptying itself. It is releasing the memories, attachments, disappointments, and silent wounds that your mind learned to ignore, but your soul could no longer carry. Every accelerated heartbeat is your spirit pushing old emotional weight to the surface. Every deep breath is your system exhaling what once suffocated your purpose. Every sudden swell of emotion is God touching a place inside you that has been numb for far too long. When the soul stops resisting God, the heart expands, and that expansion is not delicate. It stretches. It cracks open hidden chambers. It pulls out shadows you didn't realize were still lodged in you. And as those old pieces break away, a new kind of peace begins to fill the space they leave behind. A peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on alignment. A peace that doesn't need explanations, because it is rooted in truth. A peace that enters not through the mind, but through the chest, quietly, insistently, like warm light moving into a cold room. These sensations are not random. They are evidence that your heart is finally syncing with your spirit. And once that happens, nothing inside you remains the same. But here's where your activation takes a turn most people never expect. When the heart unlocks, the night becomes the next stage of transformation. Because once your heart clears, your nights will never be the same. The fourth physical sign is when your sleep pattern becomes completely unpredictable. A shift so profound that it feels as if the night has begun speaking to you in a language only your spirit can understand. You start waking up at unusual hours, not once, not twice, but repeatedly, as if something gently pulls you out of your dreams at the exact moment your soul receives a message. Your mind may not recall the dream, but your body remembers the encounter. Then your dreams become more vivid, more symbolic, more intense. They stop feeling like imagination and start feeling like revelation. Some dreams feel like warnings, others feel like instructions, and some feel like you're being shown pieces of a future that has not yet unfolded. Even when the details fade by morning, the imprint remains. You wake up lighter, wiser, strangely clearer, as if a part of you traveled somewhere during the night and returned carrying answers you didn't know you were seeking. And then there's that unshakable sensation, the feeling of being watched over, not by danger, but by presence. The quiet sense that you are not alone in your sleep, that something protective hovers near you, guarding the doorway between your consciousness and the spiritual realm. Chosen ones don't sleep the way others do. While the world rests, your spirit is being trained, guided, strengthened in places your physical eyes cannot see. In the silence of the night, conversations happen, alignments occur, old burdens loosen, new blueprints settle into your soul. This is why you sometimes wake up exhausted, even though you slept for hours. And other times you wake up energized after barely sleeping. Because the spirit, not the body, determine the quality of the rest. Sleep no longer feels like escape. It feels like initiation. But this is where the mystery deepens. Once the night becomes a classroom, the next sign of activation begins to reveal itself in a very unexpected way, through something as simple yet sacred as your appetite. The fifth physical sign is when your appetite and sensitivities begin to change. Not slightly, not gradually, but in a way that feels almost foreign, as if your body is no longer responding to the world the way it used to. Foods you once enjoyed now feel heavy, draining, or strangely unappealing. Meals that once comforted you now sit in your spirit like unnecessary weight, and suddenly, almost without effort, your appetite becomes lighter, cleaner, more selective. You crave water, quiet, simplicity, purity, not because you're trying to be disciplined, but because your body refuses to partner with anything that slows the energy rising inside you. Your body is not being picky. It is being purified. When a chosen one's activation begins, the physical vessel starts rejecting anything that clashes with the new spiritual frequency developing within. Certain ingredients feel off. Processed foods feel dull. Overindulgence feels wrong in a way it never did before. Even the smell of certain things becomes too strong, too loud, too low vibration. And that's only the beginning. Your senses sharpen in ways you can't logically explain. You walk into a room and instantly feel the emotional temperature. You sense tension before words are spoken. You detect dishonesty, insecurity, jealousy, or peace, as clearly as if someone had said it out loud. Your spirit no longer waits for your mind to understand danger or alignment. It warns you immediately through your senses. This heightened awareness isn't paranoia, it's refinement. Your temple is being cleansed, recalibrated, and prepared to hold more light, more wisdom, more spiritual authority. Your emotions feel cleaner. Your boundaries become non-negotiable. Your tolerance for chaos shrinks because your inner world refuses to absorb what does not serve your purpose. People may think you're changing tastes, withdrawing, or becoming selective, but what's truly happening is much deeper. You're being separated from anything that dims your gifts or contaminates your peace. And just when you think you understand this transformation, when you believe it's only about your senses and your body, something far more unexpected appears, a sign that surprises almost every chosen one. The sixth physical sign is the sudden waves of emotion, tears, or deep release. Moments that rise without warning and break through your composure, as if something inside you has finally decided to breathe after years of holding itself together. You cry without knowing why. An old memory surfaces out of nowhere. A random thought softens your entire body. A simple word, a song, or even silence triggers an emotional flood that feels too precise to be accidental. But this is not sadness. It is cleansing. Your soul is pushing out what your mind has ignored, what your heart has buried, and what your body has carried long after it served any purpose. Tears become a language your spirit uses when words would only get in the way. Every tear removes a layer of the old you, the version formed by fear, disappointment, pressure, survival, and expectation. Every emotional wave softens stiff places within you, creating space for peace to anchor where anxiety once lived. These emotions don't come to break you, they come to free you. What feels like unraveling is actually release. What feels like vulnerability is actually expansion. What feels like losing control is actually God returning you to your true center. In these moments, you may feel your chest loosen, your breath deepen, your shoulders drop, as if your body is confessing burdens you never dared speak aloud. You might notice that after crying, you feel clearer, lighter, sharper, as if the fog that once clouded your inner world has finally lifted. That's because emotional release is spiritual excavation. It reaches into the buried corners of your soul and pulls out what has been silently shaping your patterns, choices, and reactions. And the most astonishing part? These emotional waves do not weaken you. They prepare you. Every release makes room for a higher version of you to emerge. Every tear washes away a belief you no longer need. Every trembling breath signals that your inner world is realigning with your divine assignment. And then, something beautiful begins to happen inside you. A shift so gentle yet so undeniable that it changes the way you move through the world. The seventh physical sign is when a strange calm begins to take over your life. A calm so profound, so steady, so unlike anything you've ever felt before that it almost feels supernatural. You wake up lighter, as if a weight has been quietly lifted from your chest during the night. You move through your day quieter, not silent, but centered, as if something inside you has finally stopped trembling. and you find yourself unbothered by the world in ways that would have shocked the old you. Situations that once triggered you now feel distant, almost irrelevant. People who used to drain you no longer have access to your inner space. Conversations that once sparked anxiety now pass through you like soft wind. This stillness you feel is not emptiness. It is divine alignment. Your soul is no longer fighting battles that were never yours to carry. Your mind is no longer drowning in noise that once felt impossible to escape. And your spirit has stepped into a higher chamber of peace, a level of inner stability that comes only after deep spiritual reconstruction. This calm is not passive. It is authority. It is clarity. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows they're finally walking in the rhythm of their purpose. This is why people begin to notice something different about you. They'll stare a second too long. They'll say you look rested, even when you didn't sleep much. They'll mention a glow, a softness, a brightness in your eyes that wasn't there before. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll feel it, because the activation happening inside you is now radiating outside you. Your energy speaks before you do. Your presence shifts the atmosphere around you. Your peace becomes a message in itself. And as this calm strengthens, something even more powerful begins to form beneath it. A final revelation that ties every sign together and prepares you for what comes next. Chosen one. This is the moment everything comes together. Not in your mind, in your spirit. Not as information, but as revelation. Not as something you simply heard, but as something you are now becoming. Everything you've felt. Everything that has shifted inside you. Every physical sign that has risen without warning. None of it was random. None of it was chaos. None of it was weakness. Your body was not malfunctioning. It was awakening. Something ancient within you. Something sacred. Something divinely timed has been unlocking itself cell by cell, sensation by sensation, moment by moment. Every shift, every pulse, every tear, every dream-filled night, every wave of peace that didn't make sense. Every breath that felt different, every calm that arrived like a miracle. All of it has been the hand of God preparing you for a level of purpose your past self could not have carried. You have not been drained. You have been emptied so new strength could enter. You have not been isolated. You have been set apart for a higher assignment. You have not been shaken. You have been activated from the inside out. And now, chosen one, you stand at the threshold of a version of yourself that you were always meant to grow into. A self that is clearer, brighter, stronger. A self that is not led by fear, exhaustion, confusion, or survival, but by divine alignment, spiritual authority, and unshakable clarity. Stand firm, lift your chin, breathe deeply, not like someone trying to calm down, but like someone finally claiming the air that belongs to them, and declare within your spirit, with boldness and certainty, my activation has begun, I am ready. Because from this moment forward, your life will not unfold by accident. Your steps will not be random. Your path will not be ordinary. Everything ahead of you will move by divine design, precise, intentional, and aligned with the destiny that has been whispering your name since the day you entered this world. Before you leave this moment, seal it. Comment, my activation has begun, as a declaration in the spiritual realm. A sign that you recognize the shift and are prepared to walk into the life that is waiting for you. Now go, chosen one. With power, with clarity, with purpose. Your transformation is no longer approaching, it is underway.